press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hi students, in the last video we have discussed about the Bohr's atom model, three major postulates of the Bohr's theory, that electron cannot go around the nucleus in all possible orbits. It only selects certain orbits called stationary orbits or non-radiating orbits. As long as the electron in those orbits, it cannot radiate energy. Quantized orbits we call it as. For that condition, quantum condition applied by the Bohr was orbital angular momentum mvr is equal to nh upon 2 pi, where n must be an integer 1, 2, 3 etc. It cannot take the fractional value. H is a Planck's constant. And when the electrons are the atom in the excited state, at higher energy level 2 permitted lower energy level when electrons de-excite. I told already that either excitation or de-excitation, it only between the permitted orbits, cannot take randomly to any position. So therefore, from higher excited permitted orbit to lower permitted orbit, when the electron returns, then it emits radiation. The emitted radiation have definite energy or frequency. That is energy equal to difference of energy of the two orbits involved, and frequency is energy difference by the Planck's constant value. H gives you the frequency of emitted radiation. Taking these into accounts and necessary centripetal force providing by electrostatic force of attraction, we derived the expression for radius, velocity, and come to know for hydrogen atom first orbit, and radius is proportional to n square inversely with z. And again velocity is 2.2 into 10 power 6 meter per second. With very high speed the electron is moving, and equation is Zn proportional to z and inversely with n. And we got the expression for kinetic energy as z is square 8 pi epsilon naught r. In between derivations, potential energy we got this, total energy we got. When I substituted for r, we got this equation. Again for z equal to 1, n equal to 1, for hydrogen atom we get minus 13.6 electron volts. Z square, as orbit number increases, atomic number increases, En changes, and also with orbit number. What happens we can discuss detail. But before that, just you see this equation derivation, we have come across with kinetic energy, potential energy, and total energy expression. Many times in entrance it helps a lot for you. Immediately coming to the conclusions, questions are coming on this part. As for entrance concerned, for NEET or JEE concerned, these points, all these points are, you have to be in mind, not in the book or paper. The formula must be in your mind, and this changes that if you know the kinetic energy, how can get the total energy or potential energy, or the total energy in terms of potential energy. You know, if you observe here kinetic energy and total energy, only the sign change. If you want kinetic energy, put negative sign. For total energy, we will get the kinetic energy plus. Already it is minus, minus or minus become plus. Or if you want total energy from kinetic energy, you put a negative sign, because the magnitude is same for both. Kinetic energy, put a negative sign, become total energy. From total energy, remove negative sign, become kinetic energy. Please remember this correctly. And even potential energy, if you look into, if I multiplied by 2 and divided by 2, if I here multiplied by 2 and divided by it become 8. This, if n it become 8, z square by 8 pi epsilon naught r is the total energy. 2 times the total energy become the potential energy. Wherever total energy, put minus kinetic energy. So therefore minus 2 times kinetic energy is a potential energy, or 2 times total energy is a potential energy. Importantly remember this, and also this information is must for you. For first orbit 0.53 angstrom, dependency of radius is n square directly and inversely with z. When come to velocity, first orbit hydrogen atom, this value z is 1 and n is 1, and velocity directly proportional to z and inversely proportional to n. When come to the total energy of the electron in any orbit is z square by n square, directly proportional to z square and inversely with n square, minus 13.6. Before going to some equations, I conclude here. So you are getting the equation for energy En equal to minus 13.6 z square by n square. Hydrogen atom, if I take z is 1, orbit number 1, if we calculate the energy of the first orbit, comes to be minus 13.6 electron volt directly. You are observing here. If n is equal to 2, E2 minus 13.6 by 2 square become minus 3.4 electron volt. Or n equal to 3, E3 is equal to minus 13.6 by 3 square, minus 1.51 electron volt. Or if n equal to 4, E4 minus 13.6 by 4 square is minus 0.85 electron volt, minus 8.85. n equal to 5, E5 minus 13.6 by 5 square is 25. So this become minus 0.56. So like you are 5.4. Even you go for 6, E6 equal to minus 13.6 by 6 square is minus 0.37 electron volt. What we are seeing is minus 13.6. If you see the orbital only, if it is the nucleus and first orbit, energy corresponding to first orbit is minus 13.6. Coming to the second orbit is minus 3.4. Coming to the third orbit is minus 1.51. Coming to the fourth orbit, 3.2, you are getting minus 0.85. Fifth orbit, minus 0.54. So if you go to the infinite orbit, when I put infinity, n square as infinity, so this become E infinity is 0. So I am talking in terms of not orbit, the energy. Where the electron find round the nucleus is with the energies. The energy of the first orbit, if I assume to be first orbit, that energy must be 13.6 minus. In the second orbit, minus 3.4. Third, minus 9.51. Suppose if you see the number system, if it is 0, minus 13.6, minus 3.4, minus 1.51, minus 0.85, minus 0.54. So finally you will reach 0 as n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are increasing n. So we are reaching towards 0. Reaching towards 0 means energy of the electron increases as orbit number n increases. Even though you are seeing in the equation E proportional to 1 by n square. As n increases, E appears to be decreasing, but because of negative sign, in the number system, as number of orbit number increases, so now the energy corresponding to those orbits reaching towards 0 means it is an increasing tendency. Towards right you are moving, towards 0. For smallest negative value, biggest negative value towards the 0. That orbit number increases, energy increases. That is one, remember here even for entrance or board exam. What happens to the energy of the electron in the orbit? If the orbit number increases means as orbit number increases, energy also increases. What is the significance of negative sign? You know that electron is moving around the nucleus, it is bound. There is an attractive force. Attractive force of electrostatic bound the electron to the nucleus. Binding energy is positive. If you take binding energy, that is appears to be positive here because plus 1 by n square. Electron energy goes on increases, but binding energy goes on decreases. The meaning is here, so you can say with a small example. In multi-story buildings, apartments, there may be 10 or 12 floor. If you go for asking for the purchase or rent, you will see that the ground floor is having highest rate. First floor is less, second floor is less. If you reach the top floor is very less. If you go to the top of the building, no, because you can open for sky. Like here, if you are in the ground state, the electron is very close to the nucleus. Think here, you are having some money in your pocket. For that example I tell you, that is the energy of the electron. The money is in your pocket and energy of the electron. Now, if you want to stay in the ground floor or to purchase the ground floor room, house or flat, you have to pay more. Money remains with you is less. Similarly here, if the electron to be in the ground state, first orbit, it is very close to the nucleus, it has contributed most of energy to stay in that orbit, then what energy remained with it is less. How much it is lost means that is lost energy is a binding energy. It bound to the nucleus. That binding energy is nothing but 13.6 eV. Electron to stay in the first orbit, out of its energy it is given 13.6 electron volts of energy to the nucleus to stay in that orbit. Suppose I want to take off that electron says, I lost that much of energy to the nucleus. Please give that energy, I will come out. I hope you are followed. Suppose you want to come out of the flat means somebody has to give that money to you, otherwise you will be staying in that flat. Like electron will be staying in that flat because it lost that much of. Suppose you go to the second flat, third flat, the amount is less. The money remains with you will be more. Because we are spending less for the first floor, still less for third floor, still less for the fifth floor. Because the rate of the rent or the purchase goes on, decreases. Here also, the contribution to the nucleus goes on, decreases. It is nothing but how much electron contribute to the nucleus to stay in that orbit. So it is 13.6 eV it has to give to the nucleus to stay. But when come to minus 3.4, that give minus 3.4. So retention with the electron is increases. More energetic electron will get in the outer orbits. As you come outer and outer from the inner to the outer orbits, electron become more energetic. But binding energy goes on, decreases. Binding energy means, I say in understanding word, that contribution given to the nucleus by the electron decreases and an electron is richer in energy. More stronger electron we are getting. As you come to the outer and outer orbits, binding energy decreases means it is easy to take off that electron, because to take the electron from the innermost orbit you have to spend this much, 13.6 eV. Suppose you want to take the electron from the fourth orbit, you have to stay 0.54. More than 12 eV is less. As therefore, for all electrical conductions, chemical reactions, outermost electron contribution is very high. The very reason is they easily come out from the parent atom. Binding energy is least, but electron is energetic. Binding energy is least. Contribution to take that electron to give to the atom is very less. I hope you are followed. Negative sign significance in the binding, in the energy expression reveals that electron is bound to the nucleus by electrostatic force of attraction. And again it reveals that energy, when we calculated, as orbit number increases, the energy of the electron in that orbit goes on, decreases. Outer and outer orbit electrons are more energetic electrons, less bound electrons. Binding energy decreases. If you go into lower and lower, inner and inner orbits, the binding energy increases, energy of the electron goes on, decreases. If you come outer and outer orbit, 2, 3, 4, then outer orbit electrons are more energetic but less binding. So that is the significance of the negative sign I expressed here. And for most importantly, repeatedly question coming about energy of the electron, what happens when orbit number increases, and what is the significance of negative sign. Also remember, what happens to the binding energy means binding energy decreases as orbit number increases, but energy of the electron increases with orbit number. Binding a negative sign significance is electron bound to the nucleus by electrostatic force of attraction. So this is about the board exam as good as for the some questions on theory coming in the entrance papers. But again I am coming to the JEE and NEET importance here, extending this idea for JEE NEET required, not necessarily for board exam, it is for JEE and NEET. Now you come to know that electron is moving around the, so this is purely for NEET and JEE, not for the board exam. Board exam, this derivations is enough and what I discussed so far. Now coming that electron is moving in circular orbit of radius r, have linear velocity v, charge is minus e, mass m, nucleus have charge Z, where Z is the atomic number. As it is moving round, it has a definite period. What is the period? You know that period to time taken to go once round the nucleus. For the electron, time taken, period of electron in that orbit. That is circumference, because time is, velocity is distance covered by time. Time is distance covered by velocity is one equation we see. Now just substitute for r and v, we will get 2 pi. What is r value? N square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square is the r value, where v value is z e square upon 2 epsilon naught nh. This, so pi get cancelled, 2 to 4 epsilon naught square n cube h cube divided by m is 1, z square e to the power 4 is the expression for period. And if you see carefully here, again as like in previous expressions, t is proportional to n cube by z square. That I can take here. Period is proportional to n square by n cube by z square, sorry. N cube by z square. Suppose if we estimated the period for the first orbit, taking n is equal to 1, z is equal to 1, you will get the answer 1.5 into 10 power minus 16 into n cube by z square in second. It is for the first orbit. That I can write, otherwise it can understood. Here remember just n cube by z square. So again you are knowing that is the first orbit. The period to come, the time taken by the electron to go round once around the nucleus in hydrogen atom in the first orbit is this. For any other orbit if you go, it is cube rate changes, increases at cube rate. With the square rate decreases with z number, z increases, it decreases. But with the n cube rate it increases. Just for hydrogen atom z is equal to 1, let us, I will show one important relation. T is proportional to n cube at one side, and radius expression also see r is proportional to n square. I can write r to the power of half is proportional to n. Is it right? If I square it, here also square. In place of n, I can write here as t proportional to n to the power of, t proportional to r I want to bring here. R to the power of half to the power of q. Am I right? I think you have followed it. R power half to the power of q, which suggests t proportional to r to the power of 3 by 2, or t square proportional to rq. What this relation is, you can recall from the first year PUC. What you are getting from this in first PUC? Square of time period is directly proportional to the cube of radius of the orbit. Go to Kepler's law. Kepler's law, you come to the law of period. Square of period of revolution of the planet around the sun, square of period of planet round the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the mean radius of the orbit of the planet around the sun. Same. Here square of period of electron going round the nucleus is directly proportional to the cube of radius of the orbit. There it is square of planet, period of planet of the directly proportional to the mean radius of the orbit of the planet around the sun. The same, that what it shows in physics, there is a symmetry. You can study on the macroscopic scale or microscopic scale. The principles and the laws are same. I hope you are understood. Remember this 1.5 into 10 power minus 6 something value. As for period is concerned, I can write T is equal to 1.5 into 10 power minus 16 into n cube by z square second. So you got the expression for period. Here itself from this I brought the relation and shown you here that another one relation, that T square proportional to R cube. Here also we can apply the Kepler's law even in case of electron going around the nucleus. But what is the frequency of electron? If you are asking the frequency of electron, not radiation, frequency of how many revolutions it make per second? How many revolutions it make per second? The frequency must be equal to 1 by period. Directly can be written, I now come to know, it is reverse of that. So the frequency is equal to m z square e to the power of 4 divided by 4 epsilon naught square n cube and h cube. If you see again, it is frequency, if you see it is around 7.2 into 10 power plus 15 into z square by n cube hertz. The relation is. So the frequency is found to be directly proportional to z square by n cube. As orbit z value increases, electrical force increases, with more speed it is revolving, and frequency increases. As orbit number increases, it is far from the nucleus, it is evident, far from the nucleus, the speed decreases, revolution speed decreases means frequency decreases. And this value I given you for convenience again. So for frequency concerned, we can write 7.2 into 10 power 15 into z square by n cube hertz. That's what we got, period and frequency. Now from the frequency I can arrive at some other relation. What is angular frequency? The third one. Angular frequency is a 2 pi f. The angular frequency or angular velocity with which the electron is orbiting round. They are more important, these terms, n cube by z square, here z square by n cube. And now 2 pi is you add for that. Omega equal to, if I add 2 pi, here 2 pi 1 2 cancels, m pi m z square e to the power of 4 divided by 4 is coming to 2 pi I substituted 2 epsilon square h cube n cube. Again suggest this equal to around 4.5 into 10 power 16 into z square by n cube radian per second. This is the expression for angular frequency and directly proportional to z square by n cube. This third one is. So for questions are coming in entrance on this basis, period of revolution of the electrons around the nucleus, frequency of revolution, angular frequency. So if you know the frequency, as it is moving round, have a period, what is the electron current in the orbit? So the next I am coming to the current. I is nothing but E by T, or it can be written as E into F, frequency, E into F. So therefore current equal to what we get is F. One E is increases with F, that M Z square e to the power of 4, another one E is added, e power 5, divided by same 4 epsilon naught square h cube into n cube. So you are getting again current expression is directly proportional to z square by n cube. Current depends on z square and n cube directly. So we got the frequency expression, current expression, so you can measure the area of this orbit. Area of the orbit. Area, let it be, okay. Area of the orbit can be obtained as pi r square. Pi, r value we have n to the power of 4, h to the power of 4, epsilon naught square divided by squaring that, pi square m square z square e to the power of 4. 1 pi cancels, area is coming to be n power 4 h power 4 epsilon naught square divided by 1 pi, pi m square z square e to the power of 4. Equation you have area of this area vector. Why I brought you may be understood, magnetic moment. For that I calculated area. Magnetic moment is current into area. You studied in magnetism. Current expression you have here, mz square e to the power of 5 divided by 4 epsilon square h cube n cube. Area is here multiplied by n power 4 h power 4 epsilon naught square divided by pi m square z square e to the power of 4. If you simplify, you will come to know. So n square h square pi r square, 1 4 is missing. So m square m, current expression mz square e to the power of 4, 1 m remains. Here you are seeing z square cancels, 1 e remains, h cube h power 4, n cube 1 1 remains, pi remains. If you see the numerator, n h and another e, m divided by 4 pi epsilon square cancelled, 4 pi m, 1 m cancels, remained with m, this m cancelled. So what is this equation is? You derived in going to the magnetism and see NHE upon 4 pi m. What is this He upon 4 pi m? Orbit number is 1 if you take. It is a Bohr magneton. Bohr magneton He upon 4 pi m, and its value you got it as n is a number. For orbit number 1, if you calculate it, it is 9.27 into 10 power minus 12 ampere per meter square. Ampere meter square. This is the Bohr magneton. For orbit number 1, you got the magnetic moment. We are calling He upon 4 pi m, where E is the charge and m is the mass of electron, h is the Planck's constant. He upon 4 pi m is called as a magnetic moment of the electron in the hydrogen atom. We are deriving from the hydrogen theory, Bohr's theory. Bohr's theory we derived this expression. We derived in the magnetism also this expression for Bohr magneton, angular momentum, ratio of those two you are studied as a gyromagnetic ratio and all those. I am showing here magnetic moment, finding the area and that. So let us come to the other, knowing this magnetic moment. I write here the expression for magnetic moment as N into He upon 4 pi m, whose value is 9.27 into 10 power minus 24 into N ampere meter square, majorly. Then another thing I am talking about is the magnetic field. Because electron is moving in circular orbit here. Electron is moving in circular orbit. At the center of the electron orbit, we see the perpendicular to the orbital plane, magnetic moment, there is a magnetic field. If you think it is an electron current, you know expression for magnetic field flowing current, if you take mu naught I by 2r for circular orbit, orbit of radius r, I can be written as E into frequency, F, we take an F for something, F, okay, E into F. So mu naught E into F divided by 2r gives you the magnetic field. We can substitute the values and get the expression for that also. Mu naught into E by 2 is, leave it. What is the expression for frequency? We are not having that. Angular frequency, 2 pi. 2 pi means pi is there. So therefore m, I can substitute m z square e to the power of 4. Here I can take 4 epsilon square h cube n cube as the frequency. And radius, I multiply here, radius you know n square h square epsilon naught by pi m z e square. If you simplified, mu naught keep as it is. So n square and no n square here, n square here cancels. So there in the denominator it is numerator cancelled. Epsilon naught 1 cancel. Mu naught E remains, e power 4 become e power 5. E power 5, m remains as it is. Then z square, here 1 z cancels, remains with 1 z, divided by 8, 4 2s, 1 epsilon naught remains here because 1 epsilon naught h n into m cancels, however, pi. So it has to be seen, but this relation you can remember and get anything. This is the expression for magnetic field. So idea must be remembered here. From as it is go around the nucleus, there is a period, expression for period I also shown in terms of the Kepler's law, T square proportional to R cube, and frequency of revolution, period of revolution, angular frequency, dependencies must be known, and current, the electron current in the orbit, expression for that, and magnetic moment, magnetic field due to the electron motion around the nucleus, what is the magnetic field produced, and finally it is bound with the centripetal force. You know centripetal acceleration, sometimes the question is coming on that also. You have to know the expression for centripetal acceleration. Acceleration is v square by r. V square you can write there, z square e to the power of 4 by 4 epsilon square n square h square is v square divided by r, n square h square epsilon naught pi m z e square. What happens here? So that z cube pi m1 z cube e to the power of 6 pi m z cube e to the power of 6 divided by 4 epsilon cube n power 4 h power 4. This is expression for centripetal acceleration and it is found to be directly proportional to z cube and inversely with fourth power. So here majorly this z and n dependency are more important. That can be directly obtained here also, because A proportional to, if you want v square, n inversely 1 by n square I can write. R is directly in the denominator, that adds with 1 by n square, which says A is proportional to 1 to the power of n by 4. That technique you should remember. Here n by 4 comes. V is inversely with n square, R is proportional to n square, n power 4. Even you can look into the z. So R is inversely with z, go to the numerator. V square is proportional to, that becomes z cube. In terms of z, if you observe, z divided by 1 by z square becomes A proportional to z cube. Not necessary to go for derivation. But you can find out those values. Even for the period, I will show you. You understood this? These are the possibilities. In case of electron moving around the nucleus in various selected orbits called permanent orbits, we have to know about the frequency, period, angular velocity, current, magnetic field, magnetic moment or Bohr magneton, and centripetal acceleration. Dependency equations I given you here. N and Z dependency is more coming. In such cases, how to arrive is, suppose T, if you write 2 pi R by V, if you want to know about the T dependency on N, so it clearly suggests T proportional to R by V. How the R is related with N is N square. How the V is related with N is 1 by N. So therefore T proportional to N cube is got. So likewise you can get the relation for dependency of N for period or frequency or angular frequency or current or magnetic moment, acceleration, for anything can be obtained in the entrance to arrive at the final answer. Whether it is dependency on orbit number or it may be dependency on the atomic number Z. I hope you are understood this. Let us come to the next part. So far I what discussed is purely on entrance relation, how we can arrive at various equations from the known equations of radius, velocity and energy expression. From them you can get the expression for any quantity they are asking related to hydrogen atom, period, frequency, angular frequency, electron current, magnetic moment, magnetic field, or angular momentum, all those. Now, so here one thing I am saying that you have studied orbitals, first orbit, second orbit and third orbit, like that we are discussing for the atom to understand first, second, third, and different energies the each orbit have. These are the permitted orbits in which electron is existing. But actually electrons are not finding or not have in quantum mechanics the definite path as I am showing here. But we can talk about the probability of finding the electron in the region of space of the nucleus within the atom. In the neighborhood of nucleus within the size of the atom, we can find the position of the electron in terms of energy. Probability of finding the electron position in the region of space of nucleus, that is more reasonable compared to going through this. Because classical mechanics permitted, we are taken the circular orbits, but no definite such path for electron is admitted. But in quantum mechanics when we apply, we more talk in terms of words. This probability can be inferred from the one electron function, wave function as orbital. Orbital energy, we talk about orbital energy, but even that wave function, one electron wave function, what we talk in terms of the orbitals. So that is nothing but depends only on the electron position coordinates of the electron about that point. Finding the position, that is nothing but understanding the energy of the electrons. There is no definite path or wire like that along which electron is moving. It is only electron energies. This is the energy in which electron living. This is the energy in which electron lives. Here it can live. In between any energy is present, it cannot be. So for this, what the Bohr did was, he brought the energy level diagram. The innermost orbit 1 has a definite energy level that I can write here it as a energy level 1. So orbit number 1, where you have measured as minus 13.6 electron volt, is a ground state energy. Energy levels, rather we talk in terms of energy levels other than orbitals. Energies of the electrons we can identify. The second orbit, let us think this is the second orbit, minus 3.4 electron orbit number 2. And the third orbit, minus 1.51 electron volt. Let us think about the fourth orbit similarly, where it is minus 0.85 electron volt, orbit number 4, 3, 2, 1, like that. Already discussed earlier, usually hydrogen atom even you take, all the atoms are in the ground state, and all other states of energies, these are only the energies in which you can find an electron. Either you can find the electron of this energy in the atom, or this energy, or this energy, or this energy, rather than forget about this orbit. It is only imaginary. But these energies are definite, paths are not definite. So here this energy what we are seeing, almost all electrons before excitation, what we say atom is in the normal state. When atom is in the normal state, electrons of the atom are in the ground state. When I supplied energy sufficient so that this energy maybe gets absorbed by this electron and rise to this orbit, now we say the atom is excited. Process is called excitation, and energy applied is called excitation energy. And all other states other than ground states are called excited states. These are all called as excited states. And this diagram what I am showing against energy in electron volt is a energy level diagram. Energy level diagram. Energy level diagram. Lowest horizontal lines represents the energies of different orbits. Orbit number 1, orbit number 2, 3, 4 energies in which we can see the electrons. And vertical lines corresponding to transition and giving rise to spectral lines. Here it is an absorption spectrum. Or your energy enough to go to the higher orbit, it may go to the second or it may go to the fourth orbit. Depend upon energy supplied. So that is excited. Energy must be enough at least to reach the one of the permitted orbits. Supplied energy must be minimum equal to reach any of the higher orbits, then only this atom can rise. Otherwise slightly perturbed and leave it to the surrounding. This energy, how we measure excitation energy, is difference of the energy of the two orbits involved. If I say N2 and N1, I can have the expression for that. So you know energy expression already we got, minus we got expression for energy En equal to minus 13.6 by N square into Z square. I can write here 13.6 and Z square is common into 1 by N2 square minus 1 by N1 square minus. if I corrected excitation energy coming to 13.6 Z square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Here Z is for other than hydrogen atom, answer is available in electron volt. Whenever an electron jumps from lower to higher orbit, this much energy is minimum necessary to go to higher orbits from orbit number 1 to orbit number 2. Orbit number 2 may be any one, 2, 3, 4, anything. Unless that much it cannot be. It can go to any difference here, it cannot come and stay. That is what we say, probability of finding the electron is most important here other than orbit number. The energy necessary here it can reach. Any fraction of in between these two cannot. It will come to here and any excess will leave and come back. If it is enough, it will go to that. If you given to up to this, that will go to the fourth orbit like. So if you are given higher and higher and higher energy, if you are going on higher energy, this is called as energy difference. I can write as delta E. Before coming to that, I conclude this excitation energy as delta E. If I write, it is the expression you have 13.6 Z square into 1 by N1 square minus N2 square. And this is nothing but the energy that is supplied here corresponding to, that is Hc by lambda is equal to 13.6 Z square into 1 by N1 square minus N2 square. What the wavelength, if I simplified this, wavelength that emits and taking Z is equal to 1 for hydrogen atom. For hydrogen atom, Z equal to 1. I can show wavelength emitted, this delta energy. This right side is, if I take 12,400 by delta E, gives the answer in terms of angstrom directly. This also can help you. If you know the excitation energy, if you want wavelength, directly can got. These all simplified, Hc terms simplified 13.6. This delta energy is given in terms of electron volt. Delta E must be in terms of electron volt. Wavelength in terms of angstrom comes 12,400 by delta E. So now this, what we discussed is about excitation energy. The minimum energy necessary to excite the atom from the ground state to any of the higher state is called excitation energy. The process is called excitation, and we say atom gets excited. It is in terms of electron volt I written. So for example, if I take one case, an example, what is the first excitation energy of hydrogen atom? Ex1, E2 minus E1 if I want. In that equation if I substituted 13.6, Z is 1. For hydrogen atom, Z is 1. 1 by N1 square, 1 by N square minus 1 by 2 square. 13.6 into 4 minus 1 by 4. This becomes 13.6 into 3 by 4. 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are into 3, 10.2 electron volt. We calculated. E1 you can find from this. What is the energy here? E2. E2 is, I can show with this also. Excitation energy is E2 is minus 3.4, minus of minus 13.6. This if you did 13.6 minus 3.4, 10.2 eV. Nothing but same. If you know this, we can substitute. Otherwise, this is the general equation I showed here. General equation 13.6 Z square 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. N1 is the lower orbit, N2 is the higher orbit. N1 is always less than N2. We can get to any orbit, N1 is not only 1, most general case, we can get it out. I shown 1. But we also talk about excitation potential. However, first excitation energy we got 10.2 electron volt here. But what is excitation potential mean? Excitation potential is, say, suppose this is the electron of the atom I have to excite to some level, level 1 to level 2. I am sending an outside electron. This is accelerated through some potential difference outside the atom. Potential difference, so that I can accelerate this, by which it gained energy, that is equal to h nu. This energetic electron, after acceleration through this potential difference, outside electron, I accelerated to some potential difference, so that it gained minimum energy, that it when come and strike, it may come out, but this electron gets excited by absorbing this energy. We call this potential difference. The potential difference to which the outside electron is accelerated, so that it can excite an atom by impact. Excellency is most important. You have to excel and learn the concept clearly, rather by hearting. See here, concept of excitation energy and excitation potential I am telling you clearly. Excitation energy is the minimum energy that necessary to excite an atom, so that electron can go to any excited orbits from the ground orbit, from the lower orbit otherwise. Excitation potential means there is a potential difference in which I am making an outside electron not connected to that particular atom. I am accelerating an electron so that it gets sufficient energy and allowed it to strike an atom. By impact of this electron, atom gets excited means electron of that atom get excited. Then we call excitation potential. I hope you are understood. Excitation potential is that potential difference to which an outside electron is accelerated, so that by impact it can excite an atom. How we can write it? If we have excitation energy in terms of electron volt, remove E, that become excitation potential is equal to 10.2 volts. I think you are understood now. Minimum energy required is 10.2 eV. I have to excite the electron from first orbit to second orbit in the hydrogen atom. What I have to do? I have to have an outside foreign electron. I have to accelerate through a potential difference of 10.2 volt and allow it to strike the atom. By striking the atom, it will excite the electron of that atom to the first excited state. It is called first excited, second excited, third excited state. Now 10.2 in case of hydrogen atom, I have to accelerate outside electron through that potential difference of 10.2 volt, where energy is 10.2 eV. I removed E, only I written in terms of volt. 10.2 volt. Now that energetic electron, outside electron, when strike the atom, it excites the electron of that atom to the first excited state. So it is in terms of EV. If we express energy in terms of EV, then directly write the numerical value in terms of volt. Remove the E. That gives the excitation potential. Or excitation potential, not a definition it is, only to remember, excitation potential is numerically equal to excitation energy expressed in electron volt. I hope you are followed here. That is what we discussed about the excitation potential and excitation energy. Now if you are going on giving the energy more and more, it can go to the second excited state, third excited, rising the electron to the infinite orbit, removing the electron from the orbit, knockout of the electron, then infinite orbit means N1 may be 1, N2 may be infinity. Same expression goes to ionization energy. Rising the electron to infinite orbit is nothing but taking off electron permanently out of the orbit, or atom gets ionized. When you knock out the electron from the atom get ionized. Minimum energy necessary to ionize the atom. The minimum energy necessary to ionize the atom is called ionization energy. It is E2 minus E1. Here E2 is infinity. Sorry, E2 is 1 by infinity. So it becomes 0 minus this energy 13.6, I write this equation, the same equation. If you are writing 13.6 z square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by infinity square, I am writing in terms of ionization energy. So 13.6 z square by n1 square gives you ionization energy directly. Z square by n square, or energy of the energy expression is coming as a ionization expression without negative sign, because minus 13.6 z square by n square is the energy expression. Ionization energy is the minimum energy necessary to ionize the atom. That here 13.6 plus n1 may be first orbit, second, you can ionize the atom from the first orbit, second orbit, third orbit, fourth orbit, any orbit it holds good. For hydrogen atom Z is 1, first orbit n is 1. What is the ionization energy means? That is nothing but equal to 13.6 electron volt. If we given that much of energy to the atom gets ionized, means electron will go out of the atom. Or ionization potential I am writing, it is 13.6 volt directly. I can write the ionization potential, ionization energy, or you can better write ionization energy, EI. It is also same definition if you go to. What is meant by ionization potential means minimum potential difference to which an outside electron is accelerated. Outside electron is accelerated so that by impact it can ionize the atom. By impact it can ionize the atom. We call it as a ionization potential. To remember, ionization potential is the minimum ionization energy necessary to ionize the atom in terms of electron volt. Remove E. If you remove E, become potential. If you applied E, it become energy. So these four terms I explained, and calculations also showed this is the most important equation for calculation of excitation energy. If you remove E, that become a potential. Suppose they given the energy difference in terms of electron volt, you can calculate the wavelength necessary to rise to that level. Lambda, hc by lambda. Lambda value can be what wavelength is necessary. Or if you given the wavelength, what is the energy difference can be directly estimated by using this equation. Excitation energy means you come to know. Minimum energy we have to supply for the atom to excite itself. That means electron of that atom can go to any excited state. And the expression for them in general equation is given for any orbits in between and for any element z equal to 1 to any z value. This is, suppose E is removed, that become excitation potential, numerical answer. If the question asks for definition, that definition is must. Minimum potential difference to which an outside electron is accelerated so that by impact it can excite an atom. If it is ionize the atom, then it become ionization potential. Ionization potential always N2 is infinity, for which it is simple equation become 13.6 z square by n square. Simply remember energy expression without negative sign is the expression for ionization energy. If you remove E, that become ionization potential. Have a click on that. So this minimum we discussed today. So with this knowledge, I coming to the another point and conclude here. The electrons which are rise to excited states, they cannot remain there because of continuous attraction by the atom. The energy that received will go to the surrounding by de-excitation process. By de-excitation process. This de-excitation process makes the emission of radiation. In the beginning, in the third postulate we have taken. That is, we are getting the emission spectra. The Niels Bohr taken the third postulate to explain that. To explain the spectral lines of hydrogen atom, he taken the fourth postulate. With that fourth postulate, we have to get the expression for frequency and wavelength or wave number of emitted radiations. emitted radiations, what happens, that we can see, take in the next class. Today we have discussed about the entrance point of view is much, how the equation will be changing, dependency factors, how to find out from energy or velocity or radius expression. We derived the expression for radius, velocity and energy of the electron in various orbits of the hydrogen or hydrogenic atoms. But from that, how to get the frequency of the electron, period of orbit of the electron, and also the current expression, angular frequency, magnetic moment, magnetic field, acceleration, centripetal acceleration, area of the loop. So these how we can get in terms of N and Z. And finally, these are again importance for both. More questions are coming in this field, excitation energy and ionization energy. And further, the definitions are most important for board exam. Equations, this equation and this equation and this equation are more important for entrance concerned. So in the next class, most probably we conclude this chapter and go towards the NEET and JEE questions and numericals. Thank you.